Generals, gentlemen.
Hello, hello, and welcome to Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. This is something a little bit different for us. I have casted Kane's Wrath myself a few times, but today I'm joined...
Archon Hawk, guys, I'm a little bit scared because this is different and unusual. I'm not sure they like it. It's gonna be me casting a little bit of the Kane's Wraths today, so I'm quite excited to be here. I haven't really played much myself, short of watching the machine here play it.
So what this is probably going to be more than anything is me explaining the game to Archon Hawk. So if you are very, very proficient on Kane's Wrath, then you may find this a bit tedious, but for a lot of the Company of Heroes 2 subscribers, and even some of the die-hard Zero-Hour guys, this might be a good taste and a good having a look at Kane's Wrath. So we do have the really fast barracks, and then you get the engineers or the saboteurs, and the engineers here will cap the Tiberium spikes, which are similar to all derricks in Zero. You get a bit of cash for that. We do have riflemen and the militants clashing heads here. The engineer getting focused, nice snipe there coming out of Green Zero. That will be our GDI at the bottom.
And playing up the top as our nod, it's going to be, it's not Green Zero, that is State of the Union, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Now these are two really, really top tier players. Definitely two of the best out there. Green Zero, another content producer, does a lot of shoutcasts, and he's actually from Australia as well. From South Australia, I believe. We're on the other side. But anyway, so this is actually a really good early advantage here for Green Zero, having sniped that engineer. And the thing is that you may have saw is that they sell off their watchtowers, because then you get the half refund and you get the rifleman squad, which you then use to try and get those garrisons, get the scouting, and get those Tiberium spikes, because it takes too long if you build them from your barracks. Selling off the barracks as well. Now what he's doing here, this is kind of interesting. This is a flame tank rush. The flame tanks are incredibly powerful against the buildings. And he had to tech up his observation post, which was like tier 2. Gets the flame tank and then actually sells it off, and hoping to do some damage here with the flame tank. Was actually scouted though, so I think he's going to go for the Tiberium spike more than anything else.
Cool. So the green stuff is Tiberium, guys, just so you know. I worked that out myself. It's quite good.
One of the key differences between flame tank, we'll get that one. Predator tanks are moving in very, very strong. We'll be able to deal with that flame tank. I almost called it a dragon tank. It's just a flame tank.
Substantial amount of damage going down the Tiberium spike will be taken out there. And once it's destroyed, I take it cannot be repaired.
Exactly, and once those Tiberium spikes are destroyed, you can't rebuild them. So sniping those very, very important. The Scorpion tank here, they're faster than the Predators, but they're not as powerful. Predators beat them in a 1v1. Black Hand are the flamethrower infantry, will clear the garrison, will rather forcing away the rifleman squad, and then we'll start to burn down that Tiberium spike. Not as powerful as a flame tank, but we'll get there eventually. Cool.
So can the Tiberium spikes be recaptured?
Nope, they're destroyed.
Okay, so you can't cap them again once they're once your opponent has capped them. Can you cap them yourself?
Oh, you can. You recapture them.
Recap?
Yeah,
okay,
you can. But generally, you don't bother unless it's a very central Tiberium spike. On some of the maps, you have them in the middle. The map is Tournament Decision, and so one thing that really differentiates Kane's Wrath to Zero Hour is the fact that it's a non-gated economy. And what that means is the more harvesters you have and the more refineries, the more income you have. Whereas with Zero Hour, you don't build more than 2 trucks. You can, but they'll just not actually contribute. So you want to get as much income as you can. And we do see 6, 7 harvesters, which is, a lot. But you want that much, especially on a map like Decision. And we do see the MCV, the construction yard, was packed up, moved along, and redeployed down here to expand to this Tiberium field. You want to have the expansions because you will deplete that. It does regenerate slowly, but but it will definitely give you more income and a more long-term income if you have a forward expansion. We do see the same coming out of State of the Union.
And as you expand, you get closer and closer to each other's bases and things get more aggressive.
Yeah. So the people here is a little reconnaissance unit doing some scouting and poking about. Harassing the harvesters is a very effective means of lowering the economy. You often see the attack bikes coming out. Oh, actually, the MCV getting a bit low here. They're very vulnerable when they're in the mobile form. Black Hand taking it a little bit low.
It's at least been scouted down there as he's expanding to that particular Tiberium field. So, is it very common to have the spikes for a long period of time, really, the Tiberium spikes?
Yeah, normally you do. I mean, this has been a very aggressive Tiberium spike deny. That being said, this one hasn't actually been captured yet here. But yeah, normally you hold on to her for a while, depending on what map it is. And we do see a very early tech center. So he'll have access to those powerful mammoth tanks, which if you've played Shockwave, you actually get mammoth tanks.
Yeah, I do remember that.
In US armor.
Black Hand also got wiped out there.
Yeah, the grenades.
Yeah.
There was a grenadier squad. I think it was actually in a APC. Maybe they're kind of like Rock V's. They have a little garrison port, but they're not very fast, so you can't really kite with them that well. So you generally don't really go for the rocket APC. It's generally just more cost effective to go for the Predator tanks and getting the Reclamator hub. So the Reclamator hub it's like the building that is required to get to get the ultimate tank, the Marv, which you need to tech up, getting tech center, then you need to build that building. It's basically your war factory, but then you can build the Marv. And not only is the Marv a big, huge, massive tank, it also can Marvest, where it like drives over Tiberium and harvests it. Yeah, it's pretty
Sounds
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, so we don't actually see a pretty passive game State of the Union. Normally you can get punished if you go for that fast tech, but we do see the same thing coming out of State of the Union, going for his own Redeemer from his Redeemer engineering facility, and actually going for an airfield with the Vertigo bombers. They're stealth bombers. They're very powerful. They don't really hit moving targets, but they blow stuff up. And Marv coming out now, is that big enough to you? Are you satisfied with the size of that tank?
I think it's pretty decent. So does it destroy the factories that comes out?
No, he sold it.
Oh, he just sell it, because that's all he needs it for.
The Vertigos blew up the harvester there.
Okay.
And now, because this Tiberium field has been depleted, it will lower his economy. Having the Marv, though, will give a lot of extra income if he actually uses it on the Tiberium.
So it's going to lead to a little bit of aggression coming out here from Green Zero.
Yeah, now these
pushing forward.
These Juggernauts down here, they're artillery. They're very, very powerful artillery, good against buildings, good against vehicles. Not good infantry though, and they can't hit moving tanks very well. But the Vertigo can bomb them quite successfully.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Yeah, is it pretty vulnerable to that?
Yeah, it is definitely. And Obelisk of Light has been deployed. Very, very nice defense here. The Juggernaut's doing so much damage. Vertigo's going to be blowing up the Juggernauts in 2 hits. But the airfield is so close, and they're actually quite vulnerable as well. Once they are revealed, Redeemer moving in, going to have great damage against the Marv. Better in a 1v1, because the Marv has the AoE damage. Obelisk doing a lot of damage as well, but he may lose the construction yard. It can be rebuilt, but it's quite expensive.
He's definitely taken quite low there. Marv's staying at full range from the looks of things. Couple of fighters coming out from Green Zero up the top there as well. That Obelisk is doing some pretty substantial damage, but it does end up falling there.
It loses the MCV. Firehawks are basically anti-building destroyers. They also can be upgraded with, equipped with anti-air rockets, so they'll be very good. Loses the Spectre there, the artillery for Nod. Yeah, the Firehawks will have their missiles for their anti-air, and it may lose the Vertigos to it as well if they're firing in time.
They'll actually lose both of them there from the looks of things. Marv getting taken quite low. Obelisk is very, very low as well.
Or the Redeemer, rather, yeah. Getting quite low to the Juggernauts.
That's it.
And the thing is, stealth tanks, actually. The thing is with walkers, like the Juggernaut or like the Avatar that Nod can get, is when you destroy the unit, it turns into a husk. And then you can actually recapture the husk. All the peoples are revealing the harvesters. The Nod harvesters are stealth. And the Marv will do good damage. So basically, these vehicles, the Redeemer and the Marv, they need to actually regenerate the helves from a war factory. See, there's little drones. Yeah. They repair those vehicles there. Vertigo doing a lot of damage here, but the Firehawks blowing them up with their anti-air missiles. So an actually interesting counter to those Vertigos. Also, with the Marv and the Redeemer, is you can garrison it with infantry. You have X amount of slots. 2 for the Redeemer, 4 for the Marv, and that regenerates itself if you put engine inside of it. Ray Generator going on to the Marv, making it fire at its own targets, getting very low as well, and it is taken out by the Vertigos. Nice play here, and they're stealthed up again, so the Firehawks won't fire at it in time. Stealth tank doing some great anti-air, and the Firehawks are destroyed. Juggernauts can't hit the moving targets, but the Pitbulls will take them out.
So Marv goes down. It's up falling there. Still a little bit more aggression around this top patch of Tiberium.
A forward expansion from State of the Union, he actually rebuilt the MCV and moved it towards this northern Tiberian field. Has been scouted though, so there may be some more people harassing it, but meanwhile, the slugfest continues here. The Vertigo's doing a lot of damage. We'll lose one of them though to the Pitbulls, and they are quite expensive.
So is the 1-for-1 going to be worth it there in those kind of
It depends if he destroys the husks, because otherwise he can just Green Zero. He can build a barracks and he can just recapture them.
The husks,
and I think he's actually doing so.
I think he has been, yeah.
Yeah. Going their harvesters a little bit too deep, they automatically harvest.
Reclamator Hub going to be going down as well.
Yeah, and you'll get another Marv coming out too. Redeemer still alive though. And for now, it seems that Green Zero has control of both of these Tiberium fields, so he's looking pretty strong.
So no veterancy or anything like that really to speak of, no advantage of keeping your units alive?
There is veterancy, there is veterancy, and it's very strong. It's sort of like 0 hour, where like vet is so powerful. Yep. Especially because the epic units can vet. You can have a vet through Redeemer, and it's ridiculous. Yeah, a lot of tanks up here, though. 2 Predators and the 3 APCs with the AP ammo for the extra anti-infantry. Stealth tanks can be very powerful, but they're quite vulnerable and will get taken out rather quickly to the Predators. They have the extra range, and the Vertigos will do some pretty good damage as well here. Pitbull's very cheap, but they're very powerful against stealth tank. Obelisk of Light has been called in, very strong, able to kill pretty much any tank in one shot. Not quite the Predators, but it's very close to it. One Predator.
Pretty big cost investment for the Obelisk there? Or
not a lot. It's 1,800, and for comparison, a Predator is 1,100.
Oh, okay.
Scorpion's about 850. So yeah, very cost effective.
So you can call down as many as you'd like, or is there a?
Yeah, it's sort of like Instapop. Like you build it, and then when it's finished, then you place it. So yeah, they're very strong. You kind of need Juggernauts to take out those Obelisks. They're the best base defense in the game. And the Juggernauts are continuing to siege down here, and they're protected by these Firehawks. So the Firehawks will have the anti-air from the Vertigos, which is really actually nice synergy, and the Engineer recapturing the Tiberium spike. Vertigo's moving in though, but the Firehawks are ready and waiting.
Dealing with them quite well. Redeemer's going to be moving in as well.
You have support powers like 0 hour, except they actually cost you money. Every time you throw one down, Redeemer's very strong up close. The Redeemer has good damage as well though, and there's just so many of them. They have been recaptured by these Engineers, and the Engineers are moving forward. Rage Generator, it's like a little ability that lasts a couple of seconds, and it means that the enemy units, they target themselves, and you can't like prevent it from happening. Unless you preemptively force fire the ground, they sort of attack their own units. And now, this is a pretty scary army here. There's the Marv, the big frontal force tank, soaking up all the damage. Juggernauts for the long-range siege. Firehawks for the anti-air. Stealth tanks, though, are going to be really nice anti-air. Juggernauts, though, they will wipe it if it's not actually moving.
So you think not taking out those husks was a pretty big mistake there, I
guess? He really should have. I mean, it was hard to, though. He didn't really have anything mobile. And I don't know how State of the Union can actually hold this one. He only really has that Redeemer. Has some Spectres as well, but only a handful. The Spectres are the stealth artillery as well for Nod. A lot of the Pitbull is going to be good against those stealth tanks. Zone troopers inside of the Marv give the pew-pew laser beams. And the Redeemer, it can't really 1v1 this, not with all of those Predator tanks. Obelisk of Light will give some extra damage, but the Juggernauts will level it so quickly. What is he going to do? Even a Ion Cannon, the super weapon here for Green Zero. Stealthing the Redeemer. Vertigos are moving in now. Going to be very effective, but the Firehawks going to take them out. Juggernauts still continuing to barrage from afar, but the Redeemer is stealth. It's an ability that you use. It costs you 3,000, and it stealths any vehicle in a radius, but the Pitbulls do reveal it.
Rage should actually pop there as well, so the Marv was taken quite low as well. The Obelisk is doing some pretty serious damage.
Oh, he made with the Spectre! Oh. The Spectre may take out the Marv. Whilst the Marv was focusing the Redeemer, the Obelisks were doing so much damage. The Spectre, it's stealth while moving, but the moment that it fires, it's revealed. So the Spectre may wipe the Marv, but it's regenerating its health because it has the 2 Engineers. See the little green thingies? That means there's Engineers, and at the front there's 2 cannons. That means there's Zone Troopers.
Generating fairly quickly there. The Huskers start to be taken out as well. Firehawks are still rotating around the top there, so no danger of being bombed at least for the Marv.
Yeah, and this is when unit preservation gets key, because all the Tiberium fields are actually exhausted. They do regenerate themselves, but it's very slow, and there's... They're actually held?
It doesn't seem to be getting any income here.
Maybe it's not.
It's not indeed.
Oh, I thought it was. Otherwise, it should be ticking money.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like that one, yeah.
That one is.
So there's one Tiberium spike, and here Firehawks are a really good response to the Vertigos. And also, then you can transition them into bombing buildings. Like whenever you're in an airfield, there's an ability that you can use that just swaps their missiles over, and then they're really strong against buildings. So you can blow up refineries, tech centers. But basically, we have State of the Union. He's actually rebuilt his base and he's transitioned into the man span.
quite a lot of them there. Has exhausted most of the Tiberium in that particular patch, though.
Yeah, and the man spam is a good response here because there's just no anti-infantry. There's the Marv, not fantastic. Juggernaut's not really good, and Firehawks. So we'll have to see an anti-infantry transition. There is the AP ammo. That's an upgrade you can get from one of your tech buildings. It gives you a lot of extra damage on your anti-infantry weapons. Hammerheads are coming out. They're like helicopters that have a garrison slot, and then they also have like a really strong machine gun. So they're going to be a really good response. They're really great. But bear in mind, the rocket troops can attack air. So sniper teams can be pretty strong. Even like riflemen are pretty cost effective with the AP ammo. Stealth tanks are really good at hunting down harvesters, and they're also good anti-air and good juggernauts. So the man spam will force a response. Mine drop is a call-in from Green Zero. There's all these 4 powers up here.
Looks like it's good to delay. The man spam at least hasn't been revealed, so going to be cleared now by some pretty nice force firing. I say so myself.
Yeah. So I actually really like this response because there isn't really a lot of stuff there. He may even have snipers. Ooh. Yeah, we may even put snipers inside of the hammerheads because then they have pretty good long range. But snipers are expensive. They cost 1,000, and every shot they will basically wipe a squad. Harvester going to a bad rally point there, and the ion cannon is ticking. Really interesting though because you don't really see them very often. Sniper teams coming up now. You'll see how strong they are. They're pretty good. I like sniper teams. They're fun. They pew pew.
They pew pew?
They pew pew
pretty hard.
They don't have laser beams, but they make a pew pew sound. Losing all the power as well, and the power plants have the upgrades, so losing those will be quite punishing. His buildings are powered down. You can power and unpower certain buildings, so if you want to have your war factory churning out, you can actually power down manually like your certain tech buildings so that your production buildings are still churning out units. So
big Marv push coming out the top here as well.
Yeah, Marv and Juggernauts, and it's pretty deadly here, but if the man spam pushes through, maybe a base race, he's going to have to respond to this army up here though, because Juggernauts are actually... Ooh, Juggernauts are backing away from this one. So, interesting engagement here. They're snipers. They're pew-pewing.
They're pew-pewing pretty hard.
Isn't it? 2 sniper teams even. Yeah, so they're just wiping his riflemen. They're rocket troops.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, they're pretty strong.
Actually. So.
They're quite vulnerable though, and they do die rather quickly.
So they're just trying and force their way through this one.
Yeah. The garrison will evac though when it's destroyed. You won't lose a squad. So they're on the ground.
Grenadiers are being pretty deadly as well.
Yeah, Grenadiers, they're okay. I mean, they're more garrison clearing than they are just anti-infantry, but they're still okay against infantry. And the
sniper team lives.
They're stealth as well.
Yeah.
Bear that in mind. They don't. They're there.
Still alive.
Meanwhile, at the top here, Juggernauts and the Marv is pushing forward, clearing out most of the base of State of the Union.
He doesn't have a lot either.
Ooh, the MCV sniped by the stealth tank. Nice play. Vet 1. Losing that MCV, a bit of a blow now. Watchtowers are really strong as well with that AP ammo upgrade. There's also the upgrades, the Tiberium Infusion and the Confessor gives those rocket troops just more health and more damage. But there isn't really much left here for State of the Union.
State of the Union doesn't really have a lot.
Ooh, a stinky power plant though. That may keep him in the game.
Keeps him in the game, so he has to really rely on this base race.
I don't think he knows it's there. Yeah.
Hasn't been revealed from the looks of things. Running out of his men though. He doesn't have a lot left.
Yeah, even a commando bomber has Vet 2 on the stealth tank. Ion cannon coming up soon in 2 minutes. It's pretty powerful. It's just a traditional CNC support, but after X amount of minutes, it blows things up in a certain area. This is going to be a close base race, I'm telling you that, but it may just come down to the fact that Green Zero doesn't know the power plant is there.
He's trying to rotate his Marv down right now and at least look for some more things. So obelisks don't count, do they? Sorry, Tiberium strikes, do they count?
No, not spikes. Yep. Snipers, I hear the pew-pew, but I can't see the pew-pew.
A lot of stuff being wiped out here, not looking good at all for State of the Union.
Crushed the rocket troops, and now it's only really the Redeemer on their own. Grenadiers also can fire EMP grenades to evacuate here, and that ion cannon, it's getting so low. Is that his last building? I think that may be the last building.
Oh, wow! Was that...
Yeah, Green Zero is lost.
Green Zero was defeated.
Yeah, State of the Union wins. He just focused down the ion cannon.
Wow. That was actually kind of intense. I think I should play this a little bit more. It seems like a very intense game to try and get into.
You have to have a fair bit of APM because there's a lot of economic management and a lot of like microing. And the thing with CNC3 is each unit has a different style of micro. Like you go from microing attack bikes to then microing tanks and then microing like like hammerheads and like everything. It's sort of a different focus. So you got to sort of be very versatile with your micro, which is pretty interesting.
That was a really fun game.
It was, yeah.
That's thinking power plant, man. It was pretty cool.
One more, come on, come on, Blake, come on,
look,
come on, Blake.
I mean, I might head off.
Nah, Blake, come on.
I'm kind of tired.
Ah, really?
Kind of am.
All right, fine. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed CNC3.
Launch it.
What? Oh wow, this guy, he's balling.
Launch it.
He's balling.
Just launch it, ladies and gentlemen.